Manicures and pedicures, I'm always tip top. When they say I'm not hot, all these lies need to stop. Cause I'm icy, wifey, haters wanna fight me.
Like, I know my relationship with him, and I do want to start reading the Bible more, and just because, you know, when we were younger, it was just kind of pushed on you, hey, learn the Bible, but no one like actually sat there and told us like what it meant. And it's okay to have different opinions, but it's when you push it onto people how you feel and how you, especially when you're not like prophesized and like God didn't come to you particularly to tell you to preach that word. Like, people always like, they love to be like, God told me to tell you that this, and it's just like, did he really? These false prophecies.
Yeah. That's another thing too, like reading the Bible for yourself, like just having a relationship with God for yourself, because we grew up in a Christian household. Yeah, a forceful. It's not even like, oh, you choose this, you're forced to go to church, which I understand, like it's cool to go to church because you want your family to be raised in a Christian household, but it's kind of the thing where it's like, I don't know, I think it's, you just have to have your own experience with God, because when I understand who God was and when I had that encounter with God, and I think that's what it is, because there's a lot of people who grow up in the church and they're like, they never really had a real relationship with God until a certain time, because it's like, you know what you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to read your Bible. You're supposed to go to church. But you can be going to church and not gaining anything from it. You can be reading your Bible, not gaining anything from it. So this is the particular time that it's genuine, where we actually want to, we're thirsty for it. Yeah. We want to read him, seek his face all the time, because like
not said, because we have to.
Not because we have to, because he's our best friend, and that's what it is.
So many people say like, oh, I was raised in the church, but don't have a relationship with the church. And it's like, because like, it's hard. Like, you have to want it. Like, you literally have to crave it. Yeah. You have to crave his love. You have to want that blessing. And it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna get it because I go to church. It'd be like the people who in the church, like always going to church and doing this and doing that, be the main ones. No, that doesn't mean you're gonna meet them in heaven.
Listen,
it doesn't mean you're gonna meet them in heaven.
That's a whole word.
Like, that don't mean they going to heaven.
Listen, people go to church. People go to church because that's the right thing to do. And
but then, do you really want to go?
Not even that. On Monday, what are you doing? Are you even seeking his face? You don't go to God just one day and like, oh, and then forget about God Monday to Saturday. Like, God is there with you every single day. Yeah. Are you talking to him every single day? Because again, this is a relationship. Your relationship with God. It's a relationship. Yeah. So if you are not talking to God daily, the relationship is stagnant. Yeah. It's not going anywhere, and it can't be a one-sided relationship where God is.
You just expect him to do things for you.
Yeah. You go to God only when you want something. Because God is a very gentleman type of. He's not a person.
You gotta praise him in advance.
He's a gentleman, so he's not gonna force you.
Yeah.
So
he's here. He tells you, "Hey, I'm here."
Yeah, he's here. See, this is why I am still in pursuit of God. It's because I don't want to be in the place that I was before. Because it's like, I want to experience life to the fullest. To the fullest potential that I have. And if I go to God and God tells me that I did not do the thing, like I could have done something and I didn't, that hurts. Yeah. You wasted your life doing what you wanted to do instead of living life to the fullest that God wanted you to do. Because God wants everybody to be great. Don't live life thinking that just because you got money, that's life. Life is so much more than that. Okay. Because look, literally this body is so temporary. We will die one day. Like,
All
just
of
think
us.
about that. You will die one day. This is like, if you like, that's what made me get my life together, because literally this life is temporary. You can die tomorrow. What am I going to tell God in his face that I did with all the things that I have? Because this money that we have, you will not get buried with it. You will not take it to heaven. You will not take it to hell. Okay?
It's staying right here.
It's staying right here. People have confidence and stuff. Like, I didn't have that prior to God. So literally everything that I am right now and everything that I'm striving to be is because of God. Like, he literally showed me all the things that are dirty inside of me and helped me, you know, grow from that. It's another reason why every time I talk about God, I want to cry. Because he done did it.
Won't he do it? No, seriously. And just another point to touch on with those people who feel like they're spreading the word, but doing in such like a condemning way. It's like, you also have to remember, at the end of the day, God is love. That's just that. And and if your purpose is to spread God's love, you do that without putting another person down. That is the problem. You may not believe what they believe in, but if you tell that person, hey, God is this, God is that, and you speak it, because when we say, you have to speak it. You can't just always say it in your heart. You have to speak it. Speak it out loud so he can hear you, so everyone can hear you. Speak it out loud. As long as you go there and speak, Adama goes to someone, be like, hey, yeah, I love God. I love him. He did this, he did that, he did da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
She's done her job.
Planting the seed.
You plant the seed and you move. You move. You don't have to be like, hey, what you're doing is wrong. What you're doing is this. God not going to love you for this. God, da, da, da. Hey, I love God. This is what God's done for me. Say your testimony and you go.
That's actually a real thing. Like if you don't know what to say to someone, instead of being
just say your testimony.
Yeah, give your testimony or invite them to church or something.
That's it.
Like, that's planting the seed, instead of like, you know, you're a sin.
Some people can't even be friends with like people who are Muslim or people who practice different religion. Listen, I love my God. Sorry, I do. Yeah. You get like, nothing you can do can to, you know, deter me from not loving him. Yeah. Like, period. But I'm not about to be like.
I mean, you can't even say, like, that really pisses me off.
Right?
Even with like homosexuals, like, they're like, oh my gosh, you hang out with homosexuals. First of all, Jesus hung out with prostitutes and tax collectors. Let's just get that straight. And so when you say that this person cannot hang out with that person, you're not. How are you better? Yeah. Please, you sin every day.
Love thy neighbor.
Exactly. So how are you spreading love if you refuse to be in their presence? Jesus never did that. Jesus was like, hey, let's talk.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up? What it do, baby?
What it do, baby?
So it's like, you have to show that love. No one wants to be condemned. That is such a turn on. Like, you cannot tell me I can't hang out with this person because they're of a different faith, they're homosexual or something like that. Like, that's how you plant a seed. Like she said, you plant a seed that way. You don't know, by talking to them and showing love, you don't know if they were going to kill themselves tomorrow.
Right.
You know? You don't know what they're going through, so condemning them doesn't do anything but harm them. Yeah.
It just harm the spirits.
You're sinning, because now you could have done something to help them, lead them to God, but instead you chose to
put them down.
Yeah, put them down. And you don't know how that will affect the rest of their life. Right.
And that's why a lot of people who do identify as the LGBTQ plus community,
she's like, they're so many.
They they're not connected to God because everyone has told them you can't. Like, you cannot. Like, no. Instead of just saying, hey, you are my friend. God told me to love thy neighbor. However you choose to live your life does not affect me. Don't
between you, God.
What? Like, I don't understand what people like forget sometimes that on Judgment Day it's just you and God. Like, y'all keep forgetting. Okay? God not about to be like, oh my gosh, Adama, you directed 27 people to me, to the light. So you automatically go. Oh, you only did 4. You gotta go to the downstairs. It's like, no. Like,
oh, bro.
I'm sorry, but
oh, Lord Jesus.
because it's like he knows your heart and you know your heart. And with like what Adama was talking about with confidence, it's like once you have that confidence and you instill it in yourself, no one can take that away from you. And your gift and your power is to just spread the love. Just spread your knowledge and just spread it, like how much you love God. That's all you have to do.
Because you see that and you're like, ooh, I want that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, she radiated.
Like, oh,
ooh, you growing and glowing.
And glowing.
Okay.
No, seriously, like, people, like, I think this was one of, like, the best year growth-wise.
Growth, yeah.
Because, like,
I love the person I just introduced. I just love, just watch, see, this is why we do this YouTube thing together. Because we literally are growing and glowing together. Like, just peep that. Just peep that, okay?
Like, the first video, like, y'all don't even understand how depressed we were making those videos. Like, it was given, ha, he. Soon as the camera go off.
Like, the noodle challenge. Yeah. We didn't even go to class. Like, we stayed in.
Yeah.
And we just made
videos. Yes, we did. Mm-hmm.
That's how depressed we were.
It was just like, nope. Because we didn't have that connection with them. And it was just like, it's always, that's why you should really look at the type of friend group that you keep around you. And the energies that you keep around you. I'm so big on energy and people love. And it's just like, when people start disrupting my energy, I get nervous because you gotta leave. Baby girl, get out. My energy's been disrupted. Ooh. But no, you really have to keep people around you who are just as passionate about certain things as you. Like Adama and I, we been on this journey, and it's just like, even though our journey aren't the same, but they're parallel because they're all going to one person. You know what I'm saying? And people have to realize her journey isn't my journey. I can't be like, dang, Adama's doing this and I'm not doing it. That's not your journey. That's not your lane.
That is not your lane.
Stay in your lane. And people get mad about that when someone tells you to stay in your lane. Deacon Dexina coming. Listen.
Deacon Dexina, can we get a praise?
No, but you have to listen. When someone tells you to stay in your lane, it's not a bad thing. You want to stay in your lane because you know why? God made that lane for you. You are walking that path with Him, not with no one else. Not with no one else. You may cross paths with people, but that's not your path. Okay? That's not. but that's not your path. Okay? You walk your path, and you walk strong on your path because God already said you are destined to be great. You just need to start walking and believing. Start your journey. Period. Start your journey.
Period. To add to that, I actually talked about that in my past blog. That for you to reach your full potential, you must and you have to stay on your own lane, because what you do is you compare someone that's not even on the same path as you. You can't compare yourself to Jay-Z because you're not a rapper, boo. That wasn't destined for you. But what you should say is say, how am I better than my yesterday self? That's what you should
What's
be
that
looking
growth
at.
looking like?
Exactly.
What is that growth looking like?
Because you're not a Jay-Z.
You're not a Beyonce.
You're not a Beyonce.
Ooh. Or
How are
Rihanna. Sorry, you're not a Fenty. I'm sorry.
Like,
no.
how
but
are you?
But the thing is, but you know what you are? You can make your own thing. You're not a Fenty, but you can be a Dipped in Honey Cosmetics. And that's just period. That's what the people have to realize, because Rihanna wasn't thinking when she was making her makeup, oh, I want to be just like Mac. You know what she did? She stayed in her lane and she created her own content.
And guess
period.
what? We wear that joint.
And we wear Fenty like nobody's business.
Because
no one
she
knew
stayed
about
in-
Fenty.
Yeah.
No one was thinking about Fenty.
Yeah.
Rihanna stayed in her lane. Stay in your lane.
Yeah, do what the, and that's the thing, you have to do what God told you to do, because He knows He knows your gifts. Like, ask Him, what are my gifts? He'll tell you your gifts. Do the things that you have to do. And this is another thing that I have to add, because so many people don't realize this, is that you may, let's say, like when you compare yourself to people and then you start to do your own thing and you start to say, okay, since John is going to, let's even say this, let's say John is going to feed the hungry. It's like, wow, he out there feeding people. Oh, I want to do that. But God told you to do something else. Listen very clearly.
Preach, man.
Doing obedience is better than sacrifice. So you're doing something that God didn't tell you to do. Yes, that's a good thing, but if you disobey God, you're not doing a good. That doesn't mean not mad, because guess what? You still disobeyed God. You still didn't walk in your own lane, in your own path, and therefore it doesn't count. It doesn't do anything. It's not like, oh, this is my ticket to get to heaven. No, because you still disobey God. Stay in your lane. And that's just that on that. Okay? Like, and another thing, too, is I have a big thing on character. And that's something that I had to work on. And I feel like everyone, because I just realized that, like, not a lot of people strive to have character. They strive to have money. They strive to, get all A's. Yeah, that's all good. But
That's cute.
what does your character show?
What's your heart looking like?
I just noticed, like, it's just like a lot, like, that God has stripped from
What's
me.
that soul looking like?
Yeah, I used to find identity in, like, my grades and all that stuff. But inside I was like, ooh, that's a little disgusting.
Right.
Pull that out.
Yeah.
And yeah, just look at your character. I think that's just, honestly, just look at yourself. Don't worry about nobody else. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Praise the Lord.
And stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
No, seriously, like, stay in your lane. Because, like I was saying, even though your paths may cross, that don't mean you and that person are on the same lane. Like I said, Adama and I could be parallel, because we have that ultimate goal, and we want to be one with God, and that's our ultimate goal. That's fine. Adama path may look like, and mine may look like this, but hey, that's our lane. That's our fate. Like, that's just what it is. That's our fate, and it's okay. It's okay.
And like when you said that it's good to have friends that are kind of like in the same, type of parallelness or whatever, it goes back to like being equally yoked. That's not just for being in
Relationship. It's your friendship too.
Yeah, it's your friendship too. Y'all gotta be equally yoked.
Cut these toxic people out your life, mamas. That's not your friend.
Honestly, because
look at me. That's not your friend. Can y'all pray together?
I heard her talk about it.
Can y'all pray together? Not even just pray. Like, B is Muslim, and she is a strong Muslim. But when I tell you, her and I can sit there and talk about God. She can talk about her God. That's her God. And I can talk about my God. And it's just so beautiful because just seeing someone spiritual and just someone just praising a higher being, that is a beautiful thing. And I can't take that away from her. And she can't take it away from me. And it's so nice to just be with people who are just so passionate about being better people. And about just not just wanting to make the world a better place because it's the right thing to do. It's because they want to do it. That's the difference. It's not about it being the right thing to do. You have to want it. You have to really... It has to be in your body and in your strength. You have to want it.
Yeah, don't just do it just to do it. You gotta want it. Don't with a speed deacon.
Don't make us start praise break. What's wrong with us?
This wasn't supposed to be this long, but when you start talking about God, it just
you can't just cut it. It's like we just gonna say it for like 10 minutes and like 4 hours
later. For real.
But guys, everyone, just remember, stay in your lane and what else?
That's just that on that.
Stay here. At the end of the we're gonna name this video "Stay in Your Lane." Period. Just remember, like, it's just you and him. Just you and him. Love him. Praise him. Praise him.
Yeah, praise him. If you wanna keep growing and growing, talk to God.
Yeah.
No, for real. Like on some real stuff.
No, seriously.
No, seriously. Yeah. And honestly, I want to say this because I was bitter with God. There's no point in being bitter towards God because literally initially, God, when things don't happen your way, God is protecting you. If God, and I know there's a lot of situations that happen. I know I haven't gone through every situation, but God's ultimate goal is not to hurt you, but to help you grow,
to build that character.
And yes, there may be struggles in your life, but it builds character, and it makes you a stronger person. So don't look at your struggles and be like, oh, why would God let this happen?
Right.
Everything, and you will realize this later, everything happens for a reason. Do not let what the devil is trying to do to hinder you from growing with God. Just remember, everything will help you strengthen your faith, strengthen your relationship with God. Just keep going with him. Do not let your past hurts, your past pains hinder you, because everything works together for the greater good. Okay? So please don't let bitterness hinder you from your relationship with God, okay?
Yeah, please remember to stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Don't let your past hinder you.
Stay in your lane. I'm gonna say that everything.
Just you're not in your lane, Jimmy. Your lane.
Right.
You get a little close to my lane.
What?
Back up.
Wait, your foot's crossing the line.
Go back.
Stay in your lane.
Oh, you're running. He told you to walk. What is going on? See, you being too fast. Relax. Stay in your lane.
Alright, you guys, don't forget to like,
comment,
and subscribe.
And remember to always keep growing.
And glowing. And you know you can't do that without God, so
stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Alright, y'all.
Bye.
Oh, that was my favorite video.
Yeah, I like